I think I'm gonna do a full day of eating basically every single time my diet changes. So the last time I did a full day of eating, I'm pretty sure I was eating around like 2,400 calories. So I had a diet change just about a week ago now. So I'm gonna show you guys kind of the updates, how many macros, how much protein, carbs, fats, that kind of thing in my diet right now. And I'm also gonna show you guys kind of why I have certain things, or why my, for an example, my protein intake is higher, or why my carbs are lower, or carb cycling and stuff like that. So before I get into meal number one, I'm gonna throw up a physique update on the screen. So I actually looked a little bit better this morning before I did my cardio, because after I did my cardio, I was a little bit depleted, then I took a shower. So honestly, like I felt a little bit flat, if I'm being honest, but this morning I had a new low weigh-in of 188 pounds, 188.8 pounds, I believe. So it's pretty linear in terms of weight loss right now. But again, like I should have filmed the physique update this morning because I was looking full as fuck this morning. I just felt super good. So I threw up a couple of my mandatory poses as well in this kind of routine that I have to do for classic physique, or I guess open bodybuilding for naturals. There's no like classic physique until I'm pretty sure you go to the States or like higher up federations, I'm pretty sure. So for like naturals, it's just open bodybuilding. So there's physique, men's physique, then open bodybuilding. So I'm basically doing open. I don't really fuck with the whole men's physique thing. I don't like the posing. I'd rather, hit a vacuum, that type of shit. So I would say I'm actually seeing more lines compared to my last physique update. Obviously my hamstrings and my glutes, that'll come last, I'm assuming. The angle on this video was honestly kind of shit. So next time when I do the physique update, I'll find like really, really good lighting, and I'll just keep it the same every single video. So with that being said, again, yeah, I was like 188.8 pounds this morning. And I'm gonna track all my calories today and just show you guys kind of what I'm having. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have 5 meals today, split up evenly throughout the day. Typically, my meals, they stay the same. If anything, like what meal it is throughout the day changes. So for me right now, I love having this first meal of the day. I'm going to basically cook up like my veg, so like my peppers and my mushrooms. And then this is gonna be, it's pretty basic, like my whole entire meal plan, but honestly, that's what you have to do if you want to make strategic adjustments over time, because as soon as you stop losing weight or you hit a plateau or something like that, usually what you have to do, or not usually, always what you have to do is make adjustments. I'll basically just like decrease my portion sizes for like my oats for this meal or something like that. So with all that being said, I'm gonna make this meal. It is basically oats and eggs, and I'll show you guys kind of what it looks like. Whew. So in terms of me like having vegetables and shit, I honestly just care about like the volume of my meal. So I put in a lot of vegetables, especially when I'm having like eggs or something like that. Anything that I could add, like spinach or lettuce, mushrooms, peppers, anything low in calorie, like leafy dark greens is probably gonna be your best bet in terms of having it low calorie and high volume. So I usually just cook up my veggie first, like get it kind of almost burnt. That's how I like my vegetables. Then I'm gonna throw in some eggs as well, and I'm gonna whip up my oats right now. So ironically, I used to make my oats differently because I watched YouTube videos and that's how they made it. But over time, I've actually slowly realized that making it this way is so much better. So I put a lot of water and I add my protein powder afterwards. So before I would make like my oats, I would put them in there. I'd put water in there and I'd mix the protein scoop in. But because I'm pretty sure there's something about like you cooking the protein in the oats, like in the microwave, something about decreasing the protein in the actual protein itself. I don't even know the science behind it, but I saw like a really jack guy do it. So I'm going to listen to him. That jack guy is C-Bum. So I'm just gonna do like 70 grams of oats in this. As I get deeper into prep here, I'm just gonna decrease, the amounts I have. So in this meal, I have 70 grams of oats. It'll probably be 40 grams later on or something like that if I change up my meals. But yeah, basically then I just put in a little bit of water. Nothing crazy, kind of like that. People always don't know how much water to put, but I just put enough where they're like kind of swimming a little bit in there. I put it in for a minute, let that cook, and then I'm gonna add all my other stuff, and yeah. Oats are done. And that's the oats right there. All right, guys, so this is meal number 1 right here. So I'll just quickly detail it, and then I'll tell you guys like the calories and the macros and everything. So we have 240 grams of egg whites, or like an egg substitute. This is how I tend to make my oats. This is usually how I tend to make my eggs. So I'll make like my eggs on the bottom there, like all of my egg whites are on the bottom, and then my full whole egg that I get every morning, I'll put it on top, and then I'll basically just do this. Sunny side up, cracked egg, open it up. You just get everything going on there. So then we got the mushrooms, the peppers. I don't track that right now. Probably later on I will, because it's only like 10 calories, but you know, if I add that to every single meal, if I have 6 meals during the day, that's like 60, 70 calories. So with all that being said, threw on some everything bagel seasoning, some salt and some pepper as well, then some sugar-free ketchup. I know a lot of people don't like ketchup on their eggs, but trust me, it's phenomenal. So that's that. That's like part 1. And then part 2, we got 70 grams of oats. Put a dash of cinnamon in there. So cinnamon is actually really good for like digestion. So if you have a lot of carbs, I would say in like one sitting, if you're having like cream of rice or like oats or something like that, putting in cinnamon. But then we also have 1 scoop of protein. I use chocolate peanut butter today. I'll either use this or like vanilla. It just tastes so good in oats. But I have 1 scoop of that. And then we also have 100 grams of frozen blueberries on top, and a little bit of pink salt as well in there. Typically, I wouldn't have berries with this meal. I would have them later on. And I would also have like 60 grams of oats, but because I should be having this meal around like 10, but it's like almost 1 o'clock. It was just a super busy morning, so I should actually be having my second meal right now. So this is gonna be the pre-workout meal. So I'm gonna eat this right now. Calories on the screen right now. It should be around, I think, if I bring up MyFitnessPal, don't trust MyFitnessPal 100% because the macros will actually be different. But based on MyFitnessPal, it's 642 calories, 62 grams of protein, 76 carb, and 12 grams of fat. So pre-workout, and then I'll catch you guys at the post-workout meal. Nice. So we just finished training, so now I'm gonna make my post-workout meal. This is kind of like I put my post-workout meal, my immediate post-workout meal, with my actual like meal. So I'm gonna show you guys how I make protein ice cream. This is the most filling meal you'll ever put in your entire diet, and this whole thing, I'm gonna fill this basically up to like here probably, and this whole thing right here, this mixture is gonna be like maybe 350 calories, something like that, depending on the ingredients I put in it. And if I add you know, some peanut butter, which I don't think I'm gonna add today, just because I'm keeping my calories down, and usually I like to keep my carbs and my protein a little bit higher. But I'm not showing you guys my training today. I filmed that for next video, so either on Sunday or next Thursday I will post that. But so like I mentioned, I put 2 of my meals together right after my workout because I'm always super hungry after my workout. You guys don't have to do that. You can space it out better. But I'm gonna show you guys what I put in this, how I make this protein ice cream. Everyone asked me, so please, if you guys ask me or DM me, I'm just gonna send you to this video because I've made this so many times and it's so simple. Like everybody overcomplicates it, but if you put like the right amount of ice, is actually, that's how you get it like super voluminous. So usually I typically train midday around like 1 to 2 o'clock. So I get home around like 4 to 5 depending on what I'm training. So it's usually around like 2 hours. And then if I have cardio after, it's longer, or if I'm doing posing after, it's gonna be longer. So that's why I typically put both of these meals together. And then I'll have 1 more meal around 7:30, and then I'll have my last meal at like 9:30 before I go to bed. So what you're gonna do is grab a blender. I use a Ninja blender. If you guys don't have a good blender, or like one of them with like this type of shit, it won't blend as good because it will, like the ice chunks at the very bottom, I've tried it with like one of those little tiny Ninjas, like the singular ones. It's completely shit. It doesn't work. So get yourself a big one. Trust me, invest in yourself. Invest in a good blender, please. Okay, so what you're gonna do is put your blender on the scale. Usually I don't have to weigh this because I already know like what I'm putting in it, but just for the sake of the video and for you guys, I'm going to measure everything. So I'm going to use 150 grams of frozen blueberries. Fruit that you guys put in here, it has to be frozen. If it is fresh, that's fine. It'll probably be like just not as thick. And I want this as thick as possible because I'm making this ice cream. Like once I'm done this, I should be able to put it over my head and it won't fall out. That's what it should be like. So now I'm gonna weigh out the ice. I don't think I've ever weighed the ice before, but for the sake of the video, I'm actually curious. But usually I fill up like almost half of it with ice. So I'd say around like 300 grams of ice. I just fill this up with water. Don't put too much water, guys, because Like you can add water if it's not like blending. So if you add too much water off the hop, then you can just fuck this whole thing and it'll be a smoothie. That's fine, but I don't want that. I want ice cream. So that's probably a little bit too much, if I'm being honest. Just pour a little bit out. For protein, you can use any protein you want, but I'm just gonna use blueberry muffin. Anything that kind of goes with the fruit that you're using is gonna be so good, or like a chocolate. So, but typically I put like blueberry or like chocolate peanut butter from Huge in there. So I'm gonna do basically 45 to 50 grams of whey protein. And last but not least, I'm using cinnamon just to make everything like come together in terms of flavor, and also a little bit of xanthan gum. Now, typically, if you guys don't know how much to put in here, I'm just gonna eyeball it, but put like a 1/4 teaspoon. You don't need that much. This is like the thickening agent. If you put enough ice, then you don't really need it, but I think it just fluffs it up a little bit more. And you can get this whole, I'm pretty sure I got this from Walmart, and this was expensive. This is like $25, but this has lasted me almost 2 years, and I still have half the bag because this is full and you barely use any. So I'm just gonna put in like, I use a lot of cinnamon. Yeah, there you have it. Now I'm gonna blend this up. Now it depends on the ingredients you put in here, but typically I will blend this for anywhere between like 2 to 3 minutes. The longer you blend it, the more smooth it will be. So just take that into consideration. Why can I fucking put this on? And there you have it. That's the final product right there. While I was making my protein ice cream, my other part of my meal was being made. So what I usually do, just because sweet potatoes, they take longer, this meal is sweet potatoes and chicken. So what I typically do is I will put in my sweet potatoes first, just because it takes like 20, I think I put this in for 22 minutes, and this is what they come out as. It's pretty crispy. This is my favorite meal of the day, hands down. But if you don't know if they're ready, just grab yourself a fork. You never want to be eating shitty ass food. Shut up, microwave! Sorry guys. Just grab a fork and just poke a hole in it. And if it's not, see, okay, that's not ready. So never mind. I'm gonna put this back in for 5 minutes. If you poke a hole through your potatoes or sweet potatoes or whatever, and it's hard, obviously they're not ready. So I have 250 grams sweet potato in there. Then I'm having a salad. And also, while I was making the protein ice cream, I have 160 or 150 grams of chicken breast. So I'm gonna make like a chicken salad with the sweet potato. Then, to make sure that the protein ice cream is ready, here we go. One eat. You ready? This fucking scares me every time. Ready? Ah! There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's the mix. I'm gonna throw up the ingredients right here because I know you guys are gonna ask again. After the sweet potatoes are done, I'll show you guys that meal. Look at this, man. Oh, Dairy Queen Blizzard right here. Oh man, phenomenal. Mouth orgasm, if I'm being honest. All my meals taste so good right now. I never understood the value of food and good tasting food until you prep for a bodybuilding show. I'm telling you. This whole thing right here is, I think, 300 calories, and a Dairy Queen large Blizzard Oreo is 1,400. So, just saying. Also having a Diet Coke or Diet Root Beer.
Whoo! Look at that. Oh my god! Look at that shit, bro. Look at that shit.
All right, guys. There you have it. This is post-workout meal, aka meal number 2 and 3 technically. So, a couple things I want to say about this meal. So I put in basically everything into this bowl. I put 250 grams sweet potato, cooked sweet potato into there. So 250 grams of raw sweet potato. Obviously I cook them, but I measure them out raw. So raw weight is always going to be like way more accurate. So if you, for an example, you weigh something out, then you cook the potatoes, it's gonna weigh less. Theoretically, if you weighed it afterwards and you were measuring it as like, 200 grams or whatever, 200 grams cooked potato would be like 250 raw because it's heavier, right? Same with like cooked rice and, you know, dry rice. It's gonna be completely different. So I would just say whatever measurement or whatever way you're using, just stick with that. And that's how you're gonna be the most accurate for yourself. Me personally, I like to weigh everything raw. And then I just know it's gonna be that exact weight every single time I weigh it raw, basically, like in terms of my meal planning, because it doesn't change like whatsoever. So I put it all into the bowl. I usually have the sweet potatoes on the side, but honestly, I'm lazy right now. All food tastes like crack to me. I even put mustard in this mix. I know you guys are probably thinking mustard and sweet potato, Bret, that's absolutely fucking horrendous. At this point, I could put pickle juice in here and this would taste like crack. So I also have 160 grams of cooked chicken. My chicken, I always weigh cooked. You can weigh that raw. You'd probably be a little bit more accurate, but I'm not gonna weigh out one chicken breast raw, cook it, right? I usually make all of my chicken ahead of time, I meal prep it, and then I just grab it whenever I need it. So yeah, we have that, and then just some coleslaw for my greens, basically, a little bit of salt and pepper, and then mustard and hot sauce, and then also we have the protein ice cream mix, like I mentioned. So I will say, guys, two big things. Whenever you're weighing your stuff, like I mentioned, stick to the same measurement. So if you're weighing it in raw, stick to raw. If you're weighing everything out in cooked, stick to cooked. Because again, that's gonna be different depending on the amounts or the portion sizes that you have for yourself and your meal plan, or how many calories like you actually have to work with. So at the end of the day, if you look up everything in MyFitnessPal, those amounts will be different depending on if you choose like cooked or uncooked. So that's why I always with potatoes, I do like the raw weight. If I use rice, I use cooked rice. I don't use a dry rice, and just shit like that. So take that into account when you're tracking your calories and stuff, because if you want to be super accurate, then probably should be doing something like that. So the other thing I want to say is volume is king. Okay, look at this. This whole thing right here, both these meals combined, 692 calories. So that actually seems like a lot, but typically this would both be like, this would be post-workout meal, and then like an hour or two later, I would have this meal, but I put these together just because it's later on in the day right now. This would be like 300 and then like 400. So that's pretty, for like 2 meals, that's pretty combined, 700 calories. That's pretty good. So I'm going to eat this meal, enjoy this meal, have 2 more meals, and then, yeah. All right. What do we need? Mushrooms. All right, where are you? No. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of the day for another meal. So pretty plain, but this is actually probably my second favorite meal of the day besides breakfast, because that's my highest carb meal of the day. You have 170 grams of ground turkey in here, extra lean, I believe it is. It's not that lean, but it's pretty lean. Just watch when you guys get any meat, especially like steak, beef, turkey, that type of shit. You can get, there's not just like 1 ground turkey or 1 ground beef. There's like extra lean, and then like not extra fat, but like 50-50 basically. So if you can, especially when you're trying to get cut and shredded, huge tip is to get like 96.4 ground beef or ground turkey. That's gonna be like the best bang for your buck in terms of protein ratio to fat. So in this, in like 170 grams, I'm pretty sure, I'm gonna double check right now so I don't butcher this. There's only, there's 13 grams of fat. So I would actually want that to be a little bit lower. There's also 34 grams of protein, but anyways, we also have 125 grams of cooked jasmine rice. Like I was saying before, guys, when you measure your stuff, it can either be cooked or dry weight. Now, I don't know anybody on the face of the earth that weighs their rice prior dry. Like that just makes no sense. You're always gonna weigh it cooked. Microwave, please. Thank you. Be consistent with those numbers, okay? Or those measurements in terms of like weighing it and shit. But we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna throw in some mushrooms, not tracking that, literally 5 calories. Then I'm gonna chop up some shredded lettuce, because shredded lettuce will get you shredded. Yeah, basically that's the meal. That's my second last meal of the day. I'm gonna have 1 more right before bed. Calories and macros on the screen right now. I'm also gonna put on only really 2 sauces I use besides sugar-free ketchup are yellow mustard and hot sauce. Both of them are 0 calorie. Obviously, if you put the whole bottle on there, it's not gonna be 0 calorie. It says 0 calorie, so I'm gonna trust it for right now at least. I'm starving, so we're gonna eat. And I didn't warm that up yet. That's disgusting. All right, thank you for watching.
Give us an informational tip.
Low calorie drinks, I'm gonna have another one. You want one?
No, the low calorie drinks we've been having, man.
Oh, Bud Light. That's actually a tip. If you guys are drinking, don't actually drink beer because it is the most calorie. Even though it says Bud Light, I'm pretty sure this has 120 calories. But if you have like a gin and tonic or you have any vodka or tequila, if you're having like a shot with like a low calorie mixer or some shit, it's gonna be like, I think 90 to 100 calories per shot. Now, that's only 20 calories per drink compared to like a beer. But if you have 15 of them, it adds up pretty quick, so. Oh. Ground beef, nothing better than that, and the smell of salmon, if you know what I'm saying. All right, guys, so this is my final meal of the day. This is the most bland meal of the day. I would probably have some vegetables with this as well. Usually like some green vegetables, so like cucumber, asparagus, you know, anything like that, maybe some shredded lettuce, something like that. But I'm really tired and I just want to go to bed, and I don't really need to fill myself up because I'm honestly not that hungry, surprisingly. So all we really have here is 140 grams of sirloin steak. Again, it depends on what cut you get, because if you get a like higher fat type of steak, then it's gonna be more calories, but I'm pretty sure this one's pretty good. It's like 35 grams of protein or 40 grams of protein, and then like 10 grams of fat, somewhere around there. Then I just finished it off with 50 grams of avocado and just a little bit of mustard, and then a little bit of salt and pepper. So yeah, this is a pretty boring meal, but again, I keep things pretty linear and pretty strict, and honestly I don't try and get too extravagant with my meals because one, it's time consuming, two, it's harder to make adjustments to like super crazy meals, especially when there's a bunch of added you know, sauces and just extra ingredients that I don't really need in there. So yeah, anyways, I'm gonna put up the total calories and macros on the screen right now. It should be around like 2,100 calories and like 220 grams of protein. That's kind of what I'm shooting for. And then under 200 grams of carbs. And this is like a low day for me. I do like 5 to 6 low days, and then I do 1 to 2 high carb days. So maybe in the next full day of eating, I'll do like a high carb day for you guys and kind of show you guys my diet. But with that being said as well, my diet will probably change because I do have a coach now. I will probably update you guys on who it is and why I picked him, and you know, just the logistics of that decision and basically like my plan moving forward. I don't know what he wants to do with me yet, so we're just about 10 weeks next Saturday. So, or this coming Saturday. Yeah, anyways, I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for supporting me and just the prep so far and the videos, or using any of my codes for either Young LA or Hugh Supplements, anything like that. It goes a long way and I truly appreciate it. And I wouldn't be here doing what I'm doing without your guys' love and support. So thank you so much. And yeah, thank you guys so much. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Love you guys.